The Radio Forest Podcast.
Forrest, how are you, bro?
Doing good. Are you getting any golfing in this week?
Oh, dude, I'm golfing as much as I can before I have to get out there and rip it on tour. But I am bringing my sticks.
You're going on golf tour bringing your drumsticks.
Well, yeah, the shows are going to get in the way, but I'll work around it.
Now, I know you've golfed with other rock stars like Avenged Sevenfold. Any chance you've run into Alice Cooper on the greens?
I have not run into Alice Cooper. I would love to run into Alice Cooper. I'd love to golf with him. That'd be amazing.
Anybody else that you might have bumped into or done a couple of holes with?
Golfing. You know what? I actually got paired up one time with Martin Sheen, and another time I got hooked up with the guitar player Johnny Lang. And then the lead singer for the Melvins, Buzz, he plays at my home course all the time, or he used to before he split. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of musicians that golf. I've golfed with Matt, the drummer for Maroon 5. It's pretty cool. Golf is like the great equalizer. It's awesome.
It seems like it's actually really popular in rock and roll. Would you say the same, or do you think you're the minority?
I think it's very popular. It's one of those games that you could never master the game, and I think that it resonates with musicians because I think musicians are always in search of perfect song or the perfect, note. As golfers, we're in search of the perfect swing. So it's like I think there's a lot of similarities. Plus, it is the opposite of what we do. What we do, we live in a place of chaos as far as a job, right? It's loud, it's gnarly, and it's exciting, and it's a rush, and it's like full adrenaline, full nudity, and chaos. And then when you go out to a golf course, that's your yang to the yin. It's like you are walking on the grass, it's quiet, and it just enables me to recharge to go out and crush it the next night.
Are there any connections between that and playing the drums? I mean, as hard as you hit it, because to hit a golf ball hard, it's not necessarily swinging as hard as you can. To get the biggest sound on the drums, are there any similarities between that? Like the harder you hit it, does it mean it sounds better? Is it the same with golf?
It's funny that you say that, yeah, because it's about technique. And if you have bad technique and you swing as hard as you possibly can, the ball won't go far. If you swing properly and you have the right technique, the ball's going to sail. I mean, you need some power, but it's the same with the drumstick. If you just hit the drum as hard as possible, you will kill the tone of the drum. So there's a fine balance between power and finesse. And I actually don't think anybody embodied that as much as John Bonham. That's why all the drummers say that he was the best, because he knew how to get the most out of that one moment where the stick hits the drum head. It's all about how sexy you can make it sound.
Were his drums any bigger, and so he had like an easier sweet spot, or do you think he was a heavy-sounding hitter no matter what drum kit he'd play on?
I think the dude could have played on a Hello Kitty plastic drum set and made it sound great. It was in his hands. It wasn't in his drums.
You guys got the new album On the Prowl, plus the song 1987, and I saw Justin Hawkins from The Darkness did on his YouTube show kind of an overview of the song, a critique. Dude, he loved it.
That.
Would you say, I would say as a fan, that has more merit than a Grammy or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at this point? Because Justin wouldn't sugarcoat something. He's very critical, but also very positive, and he just was absolutely loving the song. But do you think that has a lot of merit too?
Without a doubt, because Justin's not trying to win any popularity contest. I've seen his series, and it's fantastic. He's very intelligent. He's very musical, and I think a lot of his stuff is dead on. And when he did the review of 1987 and watching him react to it, it kind of like made us go, we achieved what we set out to do with that song, which was really to write a killer love letter to that era. And obviously has come through to at least him in the way we had intended it. It's meant to be a little serious without being serious, because we really do love that time, and we really had so much fun that we wanted to bring it to the forefront and have people be able to share it who maybe weren't born at that time, or who were there and don't experience that vibe anymore.
On the Prowl, you've got Dweezil Zappa. He's on a song called Is My Dick Enough? What was that conversation like? Do you have to sell that to him?
You know what? No, Satchel called him, and we talk about before he called Dweezil, because Satchel is friends with Dweezil. Before we talked about who we were going to call, we talked about what song we wanted to have guests on, And we felt like, is my dick enough, which is, I think, a universal thought that all men have at some point or another. But maybe not the kids these days, not kids, but maybe not the young adults these days, because they see so much stuff online. Back in the day, when I was young, I was like, we didn't have anything to compare to, really, so we were just always wondering. But anyway, I digress. Dweezil was more than happy to play on Is My Dick Enough, and it wasn't a question of content. He was just stoked to do it, and he was so kind to join us on the record. It was really, really cool, because he's not a mainstream artist in the way that somebody from Disturbed or, and you name the band. He's kind of does his own thing, sort of like his dad did, and it was really nice to have him on.
Did you play any guitar on the new album? I see that you've been playing quite a bit of guitar.
I've been playing a lot of guitar, but I didn't play on the new record, mainly because, when you have a guy like Satchel in your band, what am I going to do? You know
sure,
what I mean?
yeah.
And I don't mean this to sound douchey, but it would be like him playing drums on our record. It wouldn't be a real reason for us. But I play at home. I play a lot of guitar at home.
Now, let me ask you, as a drummer, the Motley Crue video from the stadium tour, the video I'm talking about is Tommy Lee's not quite sitting at the drums, and then a drum sound comes in, and then he hops on the drum set like he's running a little late. As a drummer, what is that when we see that as a fan and then we don't play drums? What can happen in that situation? What's going on?
Well, I can't really, and I'm not trying to weasel out of it. I can't really speak to it because I don't know what they have going on. I don't know. I can't tell you a good reason why there would be a drum sound and no drummer. Maybe somebody played a prank on them. Maybe they made a mistake. I truly don't know. It sucks that it happened because that makes all the fans and all of us who like Motley Crue go, it makes us talk about it because we don't know what happened.
Doesn't make sense because Tommy's not a bad drummer. It's not like he's aging. I think drummers and guitar players age different than singers.
Here's the thing. You love Motley Crue or hate Motley Crue, Tommy Lee is an amazing player. Like, I don't care what you think about the band, and it doesn't even matter what I think about the band. You cannot deny the dude, he's a beast on the drums. He's a fantastic drummer. So, to your point, I don't know why anything would be on a track drum-wise. I mean, I would understand it if there was a vocal on track, and no offense, but, singers age differently. And obviously Mick was having enough trouble that he's not in the band anymore. But as far as the drums go, especially in that band, that's a strange one.
Now, what about custom drum tracks? Are you still doing that from your studio? Are you on anything we might have heard or something coming up?
I did some during the pandemic. I've had to get resourceful, but I'm not doing them anymore because I don't have time. Like, I'm going to be out on the road, and I don't want somebody to order something that I can't deliver on, I don't know that it would be anything that you have heard or you will hear, but it was a cool experience having people send me their songs, asking me for drums, and we'd talk about it, and I'd give them a few different revisions, and it was a fun experience. But we're so slammed now. I don't have time to do it right now.
I know you're huge in Germany. Is there another place other than Germany that you guys are massive? Because it seems like rock and roll has a different love, vibe, and attendance in Europe. I mean, they just go crazy, and you guys are right in that pocket.
Yeah, I mean, we do really well in the UK. We do killer in Australia. We do well in a lot of places like Western and Eastern Europe. Canada, we're big. It's like it's very interesting to see the rock and roll culture of the rock and roll fan in different places in the world. And we're very fortunate to be popular in a lot of different places, which enables us to work kind of year round. And that's what we do. We are workers, and we love to go play.
What about women, and what about food? Where are your favorite places for the best looking women and the best tasting food?
I love barbecue. I love Kansas City barbecue. I love Texas barbecue. I love women everywhere because there's hot chicks everywhere, and there's unattractive chicks everywhere. I mean, I get that question like, hey, where's the hottest chicks? And I will tell you, there is a definite look. Like when you go to Poland, for instance, beautiful women. It seems like, everywhere you look, there's beautiful women. But don't get me wrong, there are unattractive people there too. What I find is, you you can find killer women and killer food in really any crevice in the United States and anywhere in the world for that matter.
Now, a while ago, I talked to Satchel, and I said, hey, who in the band gets the most chicks? And he said Stix, because he said he'll take anything. His bar is so low, he's just putting up sheer numbers. Any truth to that?
There's all the truth. I have very, very low standards, and I'm an equal opportunity lover. I don't discriminate. I will take them short, tall, big, small, all shades, all sizes, all smells. Well, maybe not all smells, but all I love it all. I really do.
I also saw that you're selling some drum heads. Is there any memorabilia that you keep that you might have in your studio, in your house, or you just kind of know that you've gotten stored somewhere?
I do have a box of stuff that fans have given me. There are like everything from knitted voodoo dolls to actual like paintings, beautiful paintings. And the fans are very, very generous, and they want to express how much, they appreciate what you do sometimes. I have those kinds of souvenirs, and I also have the kinds of souvenirs that send you to the doctor for a shot of penicillin after.
All right, last question. What's the best flavor of Monster?
The best flavor of Monster is Ultra Sunrise. It's orange, and I have one every morning when I wake up, and that starts my day because I don't drink coffee. Never had a cup of coffee, by the way.
Never in your life?
Never in my life. Don't ask me why. It wasn't intentional. It just worked out this way. But I would say Ultra Sunrise, and it's killer.
Stix Zadinia, Steel Panther, new album On the Prowl, new song, 1987, also comes with a guitar pedal. Stix, thanks, man. Good luck on the tour. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me. Take care. We'll see you on the road.